Yedi anijie ema mwakwaba eba United Television eso. Yewo Ship House Abeka Junction enkran. Ebrasu omemu ene amanone nsem. Semufo aboabo no amaye. Yeji bre ni akenkan ede amamo. DSTV channel 360. Eya hwe yekase neti ebi ewo ho. Asida ekọ ede ama special eyes ensio. Ensio ne tiapo ede ejina ne nan so. Eno a ene musua ene ahoho nyina ne nafonom yedi edi bronya. Afi your special drinks nso e odwa so a ede flavors ne doso. Cola kakra, apple, ginger, strawberry, malt ni nyina ekoyie na chese unya bia odi edi bronya ama musua so ache ede afa. Best point savings and loans ekita yimu na best assurance wemu eni mekuo bi ene kita yimu a yede ensem no eba na yenhwe de wo ba beti no ebie wochema na chese honorable oseche mensa bonsu akasa na de wo kan say onanso dae de bia eda so ordinary ehwe running mate degree said the manfo bi ekekam na wo mrahye bedwemo na futuo akọ ede amagana fo nyina sapomudin senkae ne ye na manyosem ne nyai anye sadachi ankwama bia be haye NDC for say aban aye ne homework yie paa ena sunya regional hospital wadane ne teaching hospital yi we die eye kwanya odi pe vote entia na edom kuma no akasa di atodwa se aban no eba ekwanya yaye na ye hwe siesie no maintenance na wonye ye enti wonhwe no wanye foforo efutuo akọ edi ama yenua ma wode eniema ekọ amanone ne se eye susudua standards bi ewo ho wonhwe so betumi eduru ho yesese Ghana yanhwe ya dachi ankwama bi no empo enchekura ensue hu baye den enti yenye ahweyipa Obahima efiache sidu mene akuya ejiwa akode yentie ensam no enchiemu Major Mahama artist omanfo bi ekofa ne se onipa bonini enti wo mo eye na yakayaka die ekun no e wo denchira oboase no ho asem eda so a ejina court anim ama enne court ne eko asetena nanso putu prusu na wo se wotu asem no e de ehye November bosumi ne da etoso aduonu ennan esanse jury anase empanyimfo a wo mo ekabo mo maben e wo atemu adwuma mu a yetumi epaw so wo mo ntena asem bi so no na chese omododo no ensoe anase yentumi enkekabo mu enwie enunti na enam so amotu asem no ahye November bosumi ne da etoso aduonu enan enipa edunan ene edi kwadu abowo mo wo Major Mahama ni wuo no ho enti omu nyina ejina criminal division high court enkran anima yeguso a ebobo wo mo ano na chese yahwe wo mo ensem no aka na otemwafo justice Mariama Owusu a ye justice wo Supreme Court no ono neti asem no so a wo san etena so say high court otemwafo a wo hwema Major Mahama nensem no watumi aka Major Maxwell Mahama enipa bi a wo mo ewo denchoboase kofa ne say wo enipa bonini emekọ wiase wo mo ne o assemblyman etugu ne so eburo no kun ya ho asem da so gina court nti court yi etu ahye November bosumi ne da etoso aduonu enan no eduru so a de omu bia no yemfa enkame ahwefo Na Council for Scientific and Industrial Research 24 ayenhwehwemu ede afa ensuo ne hwehweye ahodo Ghana yeye ne ho eno ne 24 de ababetu edwase embra efa ensuo eho bambo no yenhwe enye no yentima nkrofo bi kwan emomo ye niema ensem fatatia ensuo ti se yahwe ne ya dachi ankwama bia no Ghana yebekra ensuo na se ensuo be ye den ede amayen Dr. Emmanuel Bobi ene de sa ense wesetu yo ye senior science researcher ewo honomo
Mpenufo da Water Research Institute, a Council for Scientific and Industrial Research (CSIRC), mpenufo kokko. Se mra ebonsu nso ho ban o magane mu no. Se mpenufo mpusum ama yante ne kama mfiri no dwumadi asigidigidi ene o chenebe no nsu koma beyi ni ti o magane mu no. Yentimi enyina no. Wo chemse nsu kakra kan so na galamsi ase nyina. Se na galamsi fo se nsu ye mpenufo te honom de wonsa se on demiri famu a ase wo hu ye. Na konfo bonne wo hye nkomse kuro bobo no kuro no so bo a wode na asefo timu bi enti wo sere mpenufo kan bi wo mu se mmara ebonsu nsu ho ban no wonfa nya dwuma penyina hwehwemu mu no wabin wo mu ye pa Water Research Institute Dr. Emmanuel Bobi ekasai
mercury ni cyanide no mu wo nsuo ni mu no se accumulated drew level bi a won sunsan so boni wo nipa so ebi wo ho no ma titiri ni ye hu na nsemu a bed defect obehun se obi awoba enso na ne nan ba ko ni ho ne nsa ba ko asai eniti amform ye ni nipadua ne bebi na ntimi ensisu ye sane ma no enye in future o samre e wo mu ikura na sha ase epiepie wokɔ galamsey area ni mu bi wɔ hɔ no ma wotumi ho sɛ nneɛma bi saa no mu ɛwɔ hɔ no mu yɛ wɔ mmara no dodoɔ na so ebi ntumi nyɛ adwuma ebi wɔ bebree wɔ interference from mpanyinfoɔ ne ɔmo a ɛsɛ sɛ ɔmo de mmara no yɛ adwuma mfa nyɛ adwuma yɛyɛ nim sɛ yɛ mmamunia bebree no politics hyehyɛ akyire nti ɛto de bi a ɛha adwene ɛna afei nso ebi wɔ hɔ a ɔmo a ɛsɛ sɛ ɔmo de mmara no yɛ adwuma no ɔmo nipa dodoɔ ɔmo ni capacity no a ɛfa human capacity ɔmo betumi de ayɛ sɛ nka ɔmo wɔ nipa dodoɔ a nea ɛkɔ so biara mmere ne mmere nyinaa no ɔmo hwɛ na ɔmo hu sɛ adeɛ nkɔ yie ɛsɛ yɛ ne sie
ɛnka ne kyerɛkyerɛfoɔ de ma Water Resources Commission Owura Benampoma enso ɛkasae.
We do have the regulations that I've talked about, but they remain largely unenforced. What is happening is that most of the regulatory institutions, even though there's some level of collaboration, they still, operate in their silos. There's one key regulation that is missing, and that has to do with pollution control and effluent discharges. In all these things, it's a major problem, but we've not been able to come out with regulations on that.
Kwankyerɛ for the CSIR Water Research Institute no Professor Michael Say Akweneboana enso EDBP so.
Water is essential for our life, and we need to protect, we need to guide our water so that the production, water for our consumption, water for agricultural production, and water for other uses will be put into effective use.
NDC amanyukumu mpanyinfo akasa na de woka ene se de abama no ho aye ha no waye ne homework ye wodimdika adane Bono Regional Hospital ama Baba Teaching Hospital we enya bibia wo emma ye beto 2024 no opese omanfo ntoma na enu enti ene wo yesa
titina ni ademachi nyamanyuku NDC yen Owura Johnson na Siedu Enketia opinion akasa de atudwa se mpempi no MPP for kasa omusi buzia no ye MPP ni ntabono fo hweso na wonto aba emfama NPP amanyuku no Johnson na Siedu Enketia chirim se ede pa na MPP aye ede ama de hye wo bono o chirim se hwena num ho no mo Sunyan Regional Hospital MPP for akoda ni ani aye no Sunyan Teaching Hospital obeso wo fa so no wode dada Sunyan fo no woto aba ede ma NPP o chirim se ye kaar sabia hudu hia mo apa kuhu ko Cape Coast na ko Tamale Teaching Hospital tetia pansam ne hia moa we nyina na mu hu ye MPP pese odada Sunyanfo nti ene wotu sa na mo no
monka nkyerɛ me nipa aba bɛhwɛ Sunyan Hospital ha a facilities ye wo hoi waje atum sɛ Sunyan eye qualified for teaching hospital na ne ma wo ho no ye no onka me ntie ye wo specialist fo a wo mo bɛ kyerɛ ade wo ho yeni bi emfidia yadi beye mammogram ene dialysis ene saa nneema no nyina esese ni nyina wo ho ansa no atimi akase teaching hospital MPP so womo last budget ya na womo ye no na anu saa budget no bibia ni mu a ekire se ye twa sika bi a yedi ba beye UNE Medical School and now say Sunyan Teaching Hospital. It is all Katia Mumbabe no hay Mumbuya say, they say the Funo Naniabi Saquasianitia Aguragu Obian Swatch and Nubi.
And what you know, Owura Johnson and Siedu Enketia chirim se enka ne gana mampina proba wo bo bono Bono East na half no adedi mantami nsɛn MPP for to na jeje mu pa emputuduma enka ne gana mampene jedi mfirase nyina no akangura mu ansa NDC ba obesa ko ho biem no waye nsisi adane de ama de sie no
emputuduma bebre wo ho a beduru ho no na che se ba bia NDC jai to ye no a ya jai ama akangura mu are ho pa se bibisa atimi aba ko ba bi bebre a health projects me amikro mu say kwa nursing training dan yesiaduru lentia akakra ne aboso akawura mu abesi ne ya ye kasai e-blocks bebre wo ho a eno so said ye ja no no a sana aka enti yeguso a ye ensise se nyame beboa na yasan aba
Ewiase nada mabuno ekwa akoshiemu ewo Dubai ahwe kwampe befa so a ebema ewiemu sakraye bone na ekoso no yesi ginaye ne ya no aduru ebunumu eno na Ghana oba panyi otoso mienu maame Semira Bawomia akasade atudwa se ebere aso se emabunu no esu gina omonai so de omanu bunimu ekasa de efa ewiemu sakraye ofise koyu ankoyu ye nada ye hyemu bi
Openima busumi mu no wiase nyina bekwa kudi ehia ewo Dubai akwa akwadwendwene kwampa obefa so wiemu bobre ho nsem kae no ebefa ne ntoma pa ediefira na kododo na de nsemu hihye so na wato adwen wo kina bi kokopie mu nsemu yase bia wo hu kwan obefa so na obeka won nsem edi afa na nsemu yi bia koso Africa Women and Children Conference jumede yase no na Ghana mampanyina be de etire ho kani Oru ayere Semira Bawomia ekasa wase dia tudwa tese wiemu bobre ho nsem kae ne betima yi a ene mabuna hu behia se won so de won hu ehyemu bie na won so ni so de hu no won tire mu pose mo na konya na obetima ye de aboa no won so won kasa de mpinfo enhu mpinfo gina so a ene ma bia waya ode ba bebo na wiemu bobre hu nsem kae na tima yeye no oda dodo na di wo ya sase fertilizer dodo na mpinfo aye a ye ni sunsanso no oda bia di enduane mabaye do no aduane so no yemfa ye ho nto so bebiri esanse mahusie kumoko wiemu a ne nyina no ka ho asem o mampanyina be de akire ho kani sa akire mu biem International Youth Climate Delegate Program enche bebre no eno so befira se a November bosumi ya wieye akosi December bosumi de to so dumie no Dubai mu a eno so no ka ho asem
August of this year AfriWalk conference Africa Women and Children's Conference share the impacts of climate change on women and children. Now Senior Bruni Bekano, the most vulnerable group women and children in terms of the impact of climate change. Say Senior area Moses ano so eka emane nkwala teacher sin obia ti ehwese yenkomodie mu ananhihye be na siye de boa emane mofra se be ya Senior climate change affect you no so beti ehun komona yedi.
I'm particularly excited that our young people from the African continent have taken a keen interest on climate action. Through these events, many others will be inspired to come up with indigenous, scalable solutions and ideas that can impact policy decisions as well as contribute to the achievement of the United Nations SDGs.
As we look towards COP28, it is imperative that we involve and empower the youth in the conversations and actions that will shape our collective future. The energy sector, in particular, plays a pivotal role in the transition to a sustainable and low-carbon future.
We may not know what the future holds, but we know who holds the future. It's you, our young people. You are always at the forefront of addressing the climate change. You are leading the way by sharing your perspectives, bringing your creativity and energy, and contributing to the positive impact that the world needs. We need to be pragmatic, practical, realistic, and optimistic. This earth is our future. There is no planet B.
Complete Ghana program EU Economic Partnership Agreement no ase na panyin oda no eyowura Nicholas Gibara wode kokobo ma Ghana fo aye sori aye didwa na edi niema fi omemu kwam no ne se edi niema eko EU ana Europe abochimemu akoton a omo susudua standards bi wo ho a ewo se ye niema etimi eduru ho
Abrochi man ka bamuko EU ene Ghana do onsa chente asapama se be ma kwan ma Ghana yetima kra ne madodo na de afri Ghana e de akwa no ne adodo na de eto eniso na wochirim se ene so to da sabra wa Ghana ni no ma akora so na opebia no kosende e de akwa no ne momone a yensisi ho enya sa ne te e wo sa ade a wo de kwa no ne akoton no ene amono ne susu edua no ehia pepepe na afin so ochina bi no se bibia nkoye ne hu kohia se baabia de kodi afri porten no odi akire e ba baabia afri a enkonkoye den emfa mampeni for potoka sem no wo si traceability wenti na ma compete Ghana e de national traceability system jumedi asese so e de ma wona won kondo so wakra ne ma de kwa no ne kwampa obefa so a obegi atumu ne de mfa so aba GRE Customs FDA Ghana Standard Authority kwayo so ye wonyina do hu jumedi mu bia openina wojina compete Ghana konanam kasa ye Nicholas Gibara
once exporters export to the Europe, the products will be checked, and if some of the documentation is not conforming, they might reject some of the goods. So in order to have the documents in place, you need to document, especially for fresh produce and agro-processing and some of the agro-foods, you need to document in case there's contamination, in case the levels that are tolerated are higher than the ones in the EU, then you need to document and trace the product either to the factory and say what went wrong in producing the product, or go back to the farmer and see whether the farmer is using the right fertilizers, is using the right pesticides, and is growing the products in the right way organically. In case the farmer doesn't comply, then they'll be taken off the register for exports.
Kwankyerɛ for be de with the Plant Protection and Regulatory Directorate a kura yaso na say Prudence Atipu enso kasa de nsem say tudwa efa hyehyɛ no ho.
It is say omo hwɛ say standards no omo koso ye maye because ye achichiro mo every crop bia no wom standard. Say ye meko a was standard. Say ye barrier was standard. Say ye vegetable leaves was standard. Enti omo hwehwɛ standard no so no omo koso ye maye omo timu di standard no so kama ye nya mfom so bia ana ye nya alert bia enu de ye wo mra no wo ho say onya internal ban 3 times e betimi abani o onya external ban 1 and 2 ye betimi abano wo export bio and sa mra no de wo ho anti omo hwɛ ye.
Ye jina we se so ahome abayeba kase bono esi ye beto aso adaro mamontwe ye bazisia. Yema ye ho ye ho akwa bafe ye to akase bono eso a nanum obi no maisa na hinowura kendofori atakọ mrahibedwam de budget no etudwa na ode tudwa wie ye no na NDC amayekuo no nipa baako okasa de momo owura Peter Akwasi Mensa de atudwa chem se 2024 budget no etesania owura kendofori ata wahyehyɛ budget ekwakoma IMF wo enye budget ye de ahoto bebre Ghana fo na de ohaw ani ahokyere ene bebre
obi beka say IMF budget and I say budget no say ye ka say ye could ready budget ya nanka edi hope enkrahye eni daso bi ebretimamfo say the state of the economy ni sesi ya no budget na eba no aban no den hye ye ABCD na ye ku say ye reshape the economy nanka hohihia ho kire amana donko asabio amamu boni a yewura kufu ade ne bawomiade abre yi enka sa budget die ni da so bebre baja kwabra no kwasem ne se wonya abotre doso sa budget yi mu a ayese obatan a oni abadaye ma ne ba na ne besuo na ose twa na timpire eno ayewura kufu ade ne bawomia ayeden ayeye bie no because budget no is coming to deepen the burden ahohiahia ne ahokyera Ghana fo msisi ya no enum ene yesan to atom ma mensra wase eya wabena die di kan enye nokre se yewura kufu ado ayi sanitary part tax everywhere onyin friwo enkyerechemu ni se ye what tax cancellation and ye what tax exemption etimi nua Jennifer Mpacho nyabotre na ye ma Ghana fo
dey ban some na Africa ne hasa no
ye what tax cancellation and also withdrawal and what tax exemption. The truth is that sanitary part tax still exists. Abaning in free. The abanis all you say Ghana companies ya omu produce sanitary pad no. Ana oma omuntias tax ninti. And only a friend tax exemption. Into no company when I will produce ya exempted. And just say ye tax in every home, Mpacho. And to now about baby san ho say sanitary pad ya Ghana for use wo memu ano. Quantity no sign na Ghana for produce and na sign so na ye import.
Onye nipa.
And to kokrum na say ye nua no mai koto sanitary pad ya. Wo mu dudwa ma na so a. De wo dwa ma so a Ghana for ma na koto no. Emu ahe na free Ghana ha. Emu ahe na free amonone. E hono na wo behu say sa policy na odi aba no ebenya nsunsu anso wa Ghana for no so anata nya nsunsu aso until you don't just jump and say oh ya exempt tax until no abana ya de and adanko dadade because at the end of the day Ghana for maya wo mu kodwa ma so ni ade no omu kodu a amona ni party eno na ebusu tro e market wono eno so na omu yusu ni de bia until we tax na wo se we ye no at the end of the day enya nsunsu aso. That is what we are looking at.
Majority leader ono aso ne panyina wo hwe mrahibedwefi ensem so na oye mrahibedwani emaso ame abato empesua honorable Osechi Mensa bonso se onanso dai say running mate yi a omanfo kan ho asem bebre se omampanya bedi chi Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia ebefa hwan no onanso ho dai say nani abre na obepre say omampanya bedi chi dachi ankwama bia onfa no enye ne running mate.
I don't know why my colleagues, anytime we get up, they want to really link me up with something, running mate, whatever. The Speaker, yesterday, my colleague, the former minority leader, was saying that I'm concentrating on my running mate campaign. Yes, Speaker, let me state it here clearly that there is no contest for the position of a running mate, and I'm not involved in campaigning for running mate position. Yes, Speaker, it should be loud and clear. It should be loud and clear, and my colleague should also not involve himself in conjecture conjectures. He says, I probably voted for the vice president in my constituency. What has that got to do with the budget? Mr. Speaker, finally, let me draw my colleagues' attention to the import of Order 93.3. One relevance, and also involving the conduct of a member of parliament. We should stray away from that. I mean, the budget debate is very substantial, and I know you are capable of debating. Don't involve yourself in extraneous matters unrelated to the budget. Go straight. You are capable.
Yabi akosombo dam no amansuo ayiri afa adehwe mu wofra epoye ene enkrafa baby enti adoye na Ghanafoɔ eye adehye wopomon mu we enam so ama National Chief Imam Sheikh Nu Osman Shaributu ene National Peace Ambassador omo akomo ho abom akwakoye adoye de ama adehye no a omo chem se wei onuado enomo ehire
akosombo dan wana num hono mu bie ye na nkrutu ahodo atwadam no ho ahia no wonani atutugu wonsam wo no kododo na akwakoye adehye no emmoa National Chief Imam Sheikh Nuhu Shaributu one National Peace Ambassador Ura Clemens Jato akwakoye adehye ni bi emmoa enemo do koye ne bo so no 300,000 Ghana cedis kan 3 billion ensuo emo anwa no de empabo na pomudi ne madodo na no ene na ka
ho and companies be the name be buy any sika say the ba ababua amanfo a omoso omonioma akanso num me pa ye na chaw Ghana ina chaw se o wade a o yuzu a o de fabra na ye mfa beboa.
Benevolent organizations and individuals have donated a number of tents to us so that we can reduce the numbers. We are grateful to Red Cross, to the Ghana Army, to the military, and to some private individuals who keep donating tents. Some have donated water tanks, as you can see, and we are doing our best to improve their conditions. Some have donated mattresses, some have brought food items, and that is how we are surviving. We are really touched by the National Chief Imam's gesture today. We acknowledge that since this disaster struck, the National Chief Imam is the highest religious leader to visit us. That's what this.
We are here to showcase our solidarity with and support for the victims of this disaster in all the affected areas. It is important for all of us to understand that even though, yes, we as Muslims constitute a critical segment of the Ghanaian population, we belong to a secular state. And therefore, beyond religion, we also have a civic responsibility to render. That is partly why we are here.
Minority Chief Whip no anso ye mrahye bedwani e wo Adaklu abaton pesua so honorable Kwame Govins Agboza na de wo kan eni say e ba na akwan ho nsema NPP fo dimrika e ka de tu o ho say afi ye akwan afi ate so mani abre akwan pa enso ebrekro na wo mo kan akwan ho asema o mo dimrika no ebi wo ho a atete apansema asai eno de aban ne mpem ho asem emu akra eno nam so ma Ghana fo bebre ne potamu bi akasa etia say e koba ne sa enye wo hwe kwan se be echichi aboa no e ho a ene wo se esane no.
I'm sad to see a draft legislation instrument that the government intends to lay. This NPP government intends to bring an ally that will restrict import and to create what we call a committee that will give permit to a prospective importer. What this simply means is that going forward, if you want to import rice, sugar, diapers, poultry, and a number of items, approximately 22 selected items, you will need to go to the Ministry of Trade and Industry and to see a committee that will be constituted by the minister before a permit will be given to you. This, I think, is a dangerous practice. It has happened before in this country. And you recall that in 1967, a commission of inquiry was established. Justice Olenu's committee was established. And that committee was to identify the corruption and malpractices relating to import licenses. The report was clear that that practice is outmoded and it cannot be continued because people use it for the purposes of rent seeking. We have done pre-laying and we have sounded to the minister that this policy is not a good policy. We stand with the importers, we stand with the ordinary Ghanaian, and if the government for any reason believes that the time has come for them to ban certain items, let them do it and show us reasons why we should ban it if we have substitute locally. That should be a government policy. But to introduce the kind of restriction that will mean that you will need a permit before you bring these items, I think is something that the government will have to rethink.
Na woko eye Italy memu Ghana fo ye no mo ewo ayonkofa pa na ehwemu aba beto dwase adwadi ekoso ewo sa amanu mienu entemo no emu apeja de ko ahamu nchemu beye aduasa 30% ya ebo aye ma yenye sika be 90 million euros for 2022 no mo we eye Italy abana musini a wo Ghana ha eni Togo na ditu dwa ebre ehwe kwampe be fa so me adwadi ato akoso wa amanu mienu entemo.
Mpenifo de dwumadie bi hihye so e wo magana mu edi enda so an international trade show for West African agro-food and West African Plus Print Conference and Exhibition.
Expertise to transform its natural resources and raw materials and create added value here. So we have Italian companies that are leading in the sector of manufacturing, equipment, capital goods, and in fact, our trade in capital goods last year increased 30% in comparison to the previous year, reaching 90 million euros, which proves that many more Ghanaian companies are looking for Italian partners because our products are reliable. We bet on innovation, assistance, training, and there are many initiatives to promote the trade between Italy and Ghana, thanks to the Italian Trade Agency and with the support of the Italian Embassy. We are also sending delegations of Ghanaian companies to Italy to attend trade fairs. We provide also training and we try to provide as many opportunities in the trade sector as possible, and it's not only the agro-food chain, the entire agro-food chain, but also for the industries as regards the plastic, the printing, the packaging. You know, Italian products are known for their very high quality and technology. So we think that we could have a very good partnership with Ghanaian companies.
The most important thing we are putting forward is our desire to be close to our customers and machinery users. We want to accompany them in the added value creation process, and the better way to do that is to be here consistently, regularly, to know them better, to let them know better about us. Italy is a leader in these technologies. So we are sure that much more can be done together. We are
Yema yehu akwaba yenko adwadie ensem emom na enhwehwemu a Old Mutual Financial Services Monitor aye na babeto dwa se Ghana for dodro na eba ne se yenti sika kakranto emfansi a ye kachi ewumpa na eno te koda se Ghana ni ebetumi anya adwempo bi se misika kakra nie me de hye adwuma we mu na daache anko ama awo ama me investment no eno so ehon sem no ya na eden eno nam so ma nipa enyi kɔ nanim no so wɔkɔbɔ abrewa anasa akɔkora na kyese ne daache nhihye nyina ayebasa Nisa enti Group Chief Executive Officer the Old Mutual Insurance Ghana ano Tavona Biza edi atudwa echechem dientia Old Mutual Financial Services Monitor wafato ho so basic asemu ncheche edi ama omanfo
we nyuma kodu abanse chi badwumadi insurance a wabi wo mu yepa emu bi any Old Mutual Ghana na kwempe no fa ne se banse chi badwumadi dia obe ni ye ne wasom Ghana sompa enunti our Old Mutual Life Assurance Company Limited and was our Old Mutual Pension Trust. Now we chirim say Old Mutual Financial Services in paying for the Hwemogwa Ponoswa ababetuja se Ghana for do na be o hamu chichemu adusia miensa de se manya sika memfa kakransie pa de enye woda yeso dachi onyini edu ne mpanyin fi so akwa obefa so na ne nsa bekɔ na no eno so mfa no ho na we ne kwempe ni fafa to ho so aye ne se ehu behia so de kasa kyerema Ghana fo na basika kora ena nsachi badwumadi o te ase no wotimi de wo ho ehyem Penyin kwankyerɛ for the Old Mutual Ghana no Tavona Biza efa kunya no so de futu sei ema Ghana for.
When you look at what the findings are saying, people are saying number one, they are afraid of losing their jobs, essentially, right? And number two, they are afraid if they invest their money that they can lose it. Right? So that's very important for us when we now come in and we now look at and understand the kind of products that we actually need to put into the market and the kind of message that we actually need to take into the market. Because it speaks to not only the product, because then the product must be able to deliver according to the expectation.
Pejina ohenkita hudie na dwadie hu nsem so de ma Old Mutual Ghana Rita Duboatin enso kasebi.
This year nkasa ye di 10th anniversary. Na as part of your 10th anniversary, ni epese ye bibi edema Ghana for. Na ye mo muti ase ejuma ye di any expertise ye wo eno ne ma ye nhwehwemu into the savings and investment culture of Ghanaians. Clearly no as a confidence in the financial sector no apart from kakra tini epesi ehun say who need confidence really in the financial sector, where is your confidence, where are you putting your money into susu any other areas and ma ye san nhwehwemu enti find this ni bi say Ghana for ye adwuma sebio yenya income no pressure wo yesu bebre because pressure ne say obia pese or achieve a certain financial goal nti ama say stress abeda yeso school fees who prepare for retirement who person who live comfortably who to ya loans any sane man ama pressure abeda yenya income earners ne so as a yen dan prepare for retirement ye so ochine bi asembisi a nipa bebre ko retirement obon say na afi omo aye basa kakra na afi oyare na obekɔ hospital betua medical bills and no be problem ama community no ama sorry ama aban baby owo nti quite say we are not preparing for retirement and no kra wo mu ne say we be feel say retirement is started from 60 years but and if something happens now won't mean nya adwuma bi ma ya retire no are you prepared to be able to be financially secured now nti nya ma bi anhwehwemu no e de baaye eno no report ni mu findings no ye betumi afemu aba na from now on no yes your culture towards savings. At least we are going into 2024. It is a huge opportunity to add it to your New Year resolutions.
Ye jina we say so asa homi bi mu aba ye ba akase bo no ye beto aso yesro twen ye. ye maye ho akwaba eha ene brema ye kwan makase ni nyina edi AC matade amede ye adwuma anwumre se West Closet ono na ede ehye me se West Closet ewo odoko traffic light no ase Techno eni a sewa eni ne number eye 0243 508635 na Bella Wake Center eye miti emame 055 304 1995
na mitino eye me natural hair na malock no eye Lawless Locks and natural hair omo ewo West Legon 0244 423201 midin de afia ajiwa akodi emene
Obahima efia Chelsea.
Welcome to NLA 590 Mobile. Today,